mean, the setup kind of sucks, but you know, it's usable. Hey, what's up, guys? Trevor P. I just wanted to come on here, talk about something I was thinking about a while ago, um, because I've been doing a lot of thinking, and and I was just questioning stuff, just being curious, and just watching a bunch of like advice videos, I guess, on YouTube, how to get better at certain stuff, basically. Um, and this is something I just kind of like realized recently. Is it's like some of these people, like, and again, I don't know why I haven't realized this yet, but it's just like some of these people are just like not right, like, at all, when they're telling you shit, when they tell you to do stuff, when they tell you like, oh, just do this, and you'll, that's the right thing to do, and blah blah blah. And it's like, so I just want to come on here and say, basically break down what advice you really should be listening to, like, actually be taken seriously, because a lot of people are going to say a lot of things to you, and it's kind of, you know it's kind of up to you to really like differentiate like what is like real advice and what is just like, kind of dumb or not true. I don't know if you guys can see, I have a whiteboard here that's it's 4 quadrants here, and this is what I just came up like today with, basically dividing advice and breaking up into like certain types of advice. So I'll just break down the graph here real quick. So we got so you get the vertical, the y-axis here. That's gonna be how like based in like reality it is, how true it is. So you either have fact or you have opinion, right? And then you have the x-axis, which is either you're lying or just straight up like just being manipulative or whatever, or it's genuine, right? Okay, so let's just start off with this section right here. This is the one that inspired me to make this video. So top left quadrant, we're calling this simplified advice. So why are we calling it that? So it's disingenuous. And actually, let me mention this real quick. I was gonna put disingenuous here instead of lying, but I don't know how to spell disingenuous. So simplified advice, it's basically taking something that is somewhat true and kind of like simplifying what it really is. And again, this is why I made this. This is why I'm making this video, because you see so much of this on YouTube, on like courses, on like advertisements, on a bunch of businesses, a bunch of people selling you stuff, basically. All of that crap, all that advice coming from this sector is not, it's just not good advice, right? It's disingenuous. It's kind of manipulative, this side is very manipulative. But it's mostly, again, this section mostly is going to be advice from, like, again, businesses, advertisements, people trying to sell you on a product, or again, YouTube, like YouTube channels. Like, how do you think like all these tutorial channels are staying afloat? They keep making the same goddamn video every 5 minutes, dude. So it's like, okay, is this real advice, or are you just telling me this? It's so I keep watching it, like, oh, it's not working, let me keep watching, figure out how to do it, like, and you're just stuck watching this guy like talk about something that you care about but not actually say anything, and you're just like, why am I even watching this? Like, what is the point? I think that's really all I have to say about that section. And then we're gonna move to harmful. This is the more opinionated and lying. If you get advice from this section, the people who are giving advice from this section are scum. They're just scum. Don't even talk to these people. Don't even, like, just try to get them out of your life as soon as possible. really the only people though, this is the thing, like really the only people who are falling for this are people who are like, you know, they're down on their luck, they're they're just looking for something. And this is really, this section is a lot of like psychopaths or like cult leaders or just really evil people who use passion as like a means to motivate the public, you know, and manipulate them. And to, again, taking advice, it's not really doing anything. It's not really doing anything. It's not improving anything. And maybe it looks like decent advice because the person saying it is so, they're so convincing and they seem so free or whatever, you know. But it's really just, you gotta use discernment. You gotta figure out like, okay, why is this guy telling me this? Because it just seems so off the wall. So this is again, this section. If you meet someone who's giving harmful advice like this, just stay the fuck away from them. We're gonna go look at this area, genuine opinion. So I'm calling this area perspective advice. Perspective advice is basically, well, it comes from people that are generally, they're going to be close to you. They're not going to have any reason to lie to you. So like family and friends mostly is going to be telling you this stuff. And why we're calling it perspective advice is just because it's less advice and more like their perspective on the world, their worldview. It's genuine, but it's not based on any real like factual, standing. Like it's not measurable. Basically, it's not measure. You can't measure that, right? Like let's say, like you've been like dating for a while and you haven't really found like the one, or like you haven't even had like a good relationship in a while, but you've still been dating this entire time. You're like, man, and you're talking to your friend. You're like, man, I just really don't know what I'm doing wrong, blah blah blah. And he tells you, oh dude, you should try Tinder. And and it's not like he's trying to tell you that because like he's not lying, like he's not lying to you. Like this is a good friend of yours, right? He's not lying. Let's say in a scenario you haven't tried that stuff, right? Then it's like, okay, well, I haven't tried it. I guess that's good advice. But really, it's less perspective. It's more perspective. Like, at least try this. At least try that. And even if like your friend found their wife or their husband on Tinder, that's still like, I would still say that's not like a fact. That's still an opinion, because you're not measuring. You're only one person. You're only one person. Out of us, that's the sample size, right? Like you're just basing it off of your experience. Like that's not, again, it's opinion. That just happened to you, right? You don't have like the Tinder stats, and you're not seeing how like, oh well, this many people got dates, and this many people are married, and this many people are still in a relationship after like a year or whatever. It's not that. It's just an opinion. Like, oh, just try it, just see what happens. And again, it's not harmful. It's not like they're manipulating you. They're being genuine. They're a good friend of yours. Again, in this scenario, I don't know what kind of friends you have, but they should be acting genuine to you. So yeah, I mean, if they're just being honest, then they're being genuine. Then it's just a perspective. That's just how they see the world, right? It's not based on anything really factual. Okay, and now we have the final area. We have the real area. This is advice coming from people like just experts in the field, people who have been in that, I guess, that area, that industry, that skill set for a while. This is the advice you want to look for, right? The real advice. This is real advice. And you'll know it's real advice because it's just applicable in like so many different areas too. Like it won't even be just like that field that you're specifically in. Like it'll be in other areas you can apply it, and that's real advice. This is the advice you're looking for, right? This is the advice you want. Also, another way you can tell if they're being genuine, because they could just be simplifying it, right? Another way to tell that they're genuine is if they have pretty much like no incentive to tell you, other than they they're just being honest, or they're just giving their stance, right? And you know, again, if someone like is just telling you this, they're just telling you it like for fun. There's not really any incentive, like there's not like trying to sell you a course or anything, then it's probably real advice. I mean, you have any questions? I mean, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. I guess I can talk about this part up here. Sorry, my nose is really itchy. I don't know why. But we also have these measurable and immeasurable areas. Again, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Like, if it's factual advice, you can measure it. If it's an opinion, it's not measurable. So, whereas like simplified advice, it's simplifying the information to make it like seem correct, versus real, which is you can actually measure it and it's not simplified. And if it's not simplified, if it is like they're trying to give you like a general rule, they will preface it by saying it's like, okay, well, don't take this like 100%, don't follow it 100%, but this is generally what you should do, generally, right? They will just straight up tell you like that's not going to work every time, right? Versus simplified, they're not going to say that. And even then, they might say it a few times. They might say here or there, just like so you're not like like suspicious, but again, it's simplified. And then immeasurable, this is just not based on any facts. It's just you're just making stuff up. Like you're with your friend, you're like, oh, it's gonna rain tomorrow, and you're like, what? How do you know? You just check the weather app and like, no, it just feels like it's gonna rain tomorrow. What, the sky looks weird? No, it just feels like it's gonna rain tomorrow. Like that's I mean, you can't. That's probably a horrible analogy, but I mean, I think you get the idea. Again, it's pretty self-explanatory. You should be looking for this shit. You should be sniffing out when it's simplified. You should, for perspective, you should probably just take it with like tons of grains of salt, because it's more perspective than advice. And then if you ever get this advice that someone like does this shit, then you just get the fuck out of there. Like you got to get out of there, dude. Like this is the red zone. You got to get out of there. Just comment below. What do you think this advice is in the square? You think I'm over here or I'm over here? Like, But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. If you have, I don't think anyone really should have any questions in the comments. Not that anyone even fucking comments on my videos, but, I mean, I think this is quality information to know. So, yeah, I mean, that's it really.